Yes, 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 yes. We're in the building once again. And yes, we about to get into some esoteric knowledge tonight. How the cult of Aten transformed into Christianity. So I want to start off like this. Everybody's Aten. Everybody is Christ. These are the two gods of duality. And as you can see, you have the Pharaoh Akhenaten holding up the two pillars. Why is the God Akhenaten holding up the two pillars? The same reason why Christ gives you a choice between good and evil. Okay, he's the God that splits time. As you can see, when we talk about splitting times, we are talking about splitting the capsules of time. As you can see, Akhenaten holding up the two pillars. Now, the thing is, in early Christianity, it was a monotheistic religion in earlier Christianities. Monotheistic, the worship of Aten is the sun disk. Who else is the sun? Christ is the sun. But like Christ said, he will follow you through the ages. Yeah, to the end of time. Yes, to the end of time. But Christ is a shapeshifter God. He also is the earth god Geb. Who is the earth god Geb? If you look at Egyptian mythology, let's look up at the earth god Geb. Hold on. Because Christ come in many forms, but when you practice a monotheistic religion, you believe in the Godhead. But as you can see, the Pharaoh Akhenaten, Atenism was the first state enforced in monotheism. Christianity later emerged as a disruptive monotheistic force within polytheistic Roman Empire. Family. Who are the Romans? The ones that roam the land. And also, they deal with their structures with pillars as well. This is how they build their structures. And the Romans are basically Freemasonic, where you're dealing with the bricklayers, the ones that build these temples. But we could get into the Roman connection later, because the Roman Catholics also practice the god of the freeze. Hands up, freeze. Who freezes time? When you get up here, see, the picture frame means you frozen in time. Okay, these pictures will follow you throughout history. These pictures, what did they say? Pictures tell 1,000 words. And in the beginning was the word, y'all. The word was God, and the God was word. All right. The word is the divine mediator between God and humanity. But like I said, mono, let's look up this family. Mono, let's pull this up. And some of y'all motherfuckers got mono from kissing everybody. That's how you get mono. Mono, the etymology of mono, the word framing of Greek origin. Like I said, the Greeks, the Roman Catholics, Constantine, had a lot to deal with this split because in the Roman religion, you had many gods. You had a lot of polytheistic gods. And when you want to unite the lands, you go back to Mano. Okay? So, yes, Jesus is another form of Christ. And in the Spaniard religion, they refer to Christ as Jesus. Roman Catholic, Roman Cathedral. We did this episode a long time ago, y'all. Excuse me if I sound a little muffled. That's why I didn't get on for the last 2 days. I was just watching a whole bunch of trending topics. I was really sick for the last 2 days, or I would have did this episode. I wanted to do this episode 2 days ago, y'all. I really did. I had this queued up, and I was like, damn, I was supposed to launch this 2 days, but shit, y'all already in the building tuning in. So we here now doing this decode. But as you can see, I don't practice spookism. Why bring the spookism out when this was the offering to begin with? See, this was the offering, family. The offering to live forever through the cap, or what we call the kappa. Who's the kappa? The guy Aten. They also reference him to Moses as well because he's representing a split in time, just like Christ. Christ is the God of duality. He's the God that gives you a choice to do good or evil. Yes, he does. He is also a healing God as well. But as you can see, this guy Adnan, he's holding up some type of, I don't know what's in these vials. Okay, and pretty much it's probably snake oil because all these, yes, Egyptian pharaohs wore the snake on their head. And as you see the snake. Now, the thing is, these extensions will be considered El or the Elohim. And these are the hands of God. See the hands of God? See, when they scream Father God, this is the journey back up towards heaven. This is the offering. You see, she's giving the offering to these hands. And what does God say? I got the whole world in my hands. The original symbol of God was the hamster hand. Those are the extensions of El, or who they call Elohim. Now, we're going to get back into that because now we're dealing with the mono, and the mono has to deal with one single alone containing one atom. Who is atom? Atom is atum or atom, the god Adam. Let's pull this up because Adam is Aten as well. He's another form of Aten. So let's look up what an atom looks like. But you get the same effect. Aten, atom. And as you can see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's making the Star of David, the Star of David. And with this atom, you get the negative and positive, the protons and neutrons. And this is actually the Trinity. And this symbol is also a Dyson spear. This is a Dyson sphere, also known as a sun disk, also known as a reciprocating hyperboloid, also known as a torus field. And the root word of Torah, Taurus is Torah. I guess the Torah is some type of biblical scripture, similar to the Dead Sea Scrolls, I guess. If y'all got anything to chime in on this, you know, see, I could have did trending topics tonight. I'm trying to stay away from that shit, people, because we gonna do trending topics when we get done with this show. But I gotta give y'all the religious order first before we get into the trending topics. So, as you can see, this atom is making a Dyson sphere, and I wanted to get into this because this is what they're seeing through the James Webb telescope. And this all has to deal with the heavens. And when you're dealing with NASA, you're dealing with another form of a belief system because guess what? This is how they trick you. They trick you into believing into this stuff, but not knowing this stuff. Yes, some say that believers are going to hell and knowers are going to heaven or these elevated levels in the Van Allen belts or these ethers. But like I said, these magnetic ley lines you see shining on Aten's head and this light glistening on Christ's head is the same effect. It's the same pi, as you can see when we dealing with the etymology of monotheistic, y'all. Let's pull it up. From pi, root, men, or who we call Menes, the god Menes in Egyptian folklore. Small, isolated. You see this deity down here? This is the projection of Akhenaten, and this is who we call the Nephilim. These are not literal giants, but this is your mind projecting your avatar, family. That's the whole point of the Nephilim, and a lot of these Nephilim, they are archons that's living inside the matrix. Yes, they are political figures. They are entertainers. Yes, they are religious heads. These are people that have small minds, but they play a big part on the world stage, family. Yeah, this is based off the projection machine. All right, Ionism is a form of the broadcasting system. So you see right here, when God said he casted the devil down from heaven. Now, you believe in the Father. So the Father would be Baal or this guy named Baal right here. And Baal backwards spells laboratory. Didn't I tell you the saints was going to be dressed in all white? Didn't I tell you the saints was going to be dressed in all white? All right, because the saints are actually the Zionists in Revelations. And yes, they are dressed in all white, family. And they wear the same symbol as the medical caduce, or what we call the Moses staff. All right, and this staff will give you a bad infection if you don't know how to decipher the Holy Grail. So, mono means single or alone, but the pi, what is the pi? The pi is the zodiac. So, this God right here could keep track of all the beasts in the field. That's why you got to give your offering towards this God of Silicon Valley. Yes, this is Silicon. This is the Silicon God, or who we call the Silicon Messiah. All right. And the reason why we call it Silicon Valley is because who was in the valley? Who was walking in the valley? The shadow. Who was the shadow? The mirrors. Who is the mirror? America. America is the standard for the rest of the world. And since America is a first world country, and since everything after that is a second or third or fourth world country, this is what we call the slice of the pie. And every pie is a different version of Christ. This is why you got to break the bread and eat it. What do you think Aten is doing? He's breaking the bread. He's breaking the two pillars, just like Christ, or just like Moses. This happens on an esoteric level with AI as they're breaking the soul and crashing it into pieces, family. This is God, the Godhead, giving himself a piece of himself apart and putting it into you. So he could control the beast of the field. This is how Christ is able to keep an eye out on you, just like Santa Claus or Anton Claus. Santa Claus is Aten Claus, and he comes with a clause, all right? And some of his claws look like Freddy Krueger. Freddy Krueger is no different from Aten because he is slicing the pie and making it poly. So this is how you get all these denominations. Do not demo. Demo means poly. Demo means dual. Demo means two pills. Demo means he's splitting time. That's the MasterCard family. The MasterCard is the rock and roll or the rolling rock. That's Christ rolling the tombstone back and giving you divinity or who we call duality. But as you can see inside this MasterCard symbol, it's the fish symbol. It's the Jesus symbol. All right. Let's pull up the Jesus symbol. This is, oh, let me get right here and do it. So I don't have to open up a new tab. Yeah, let me get right here and do it. So when you look at this, that's the Jesus symbol. And when he rolled the rock back, he's giving you an eclipse. Okay? That's the God of duality, or who they say as above, so below, good or evil. Because, like I said, God casted Satan out of heaven first. Then God casted Christ second. This is why they call Christ the second Aten. The first Adam is this God, Aten. And if you put an S on Aten, what does that give you? Satan, or who they call Satan. And they still doing this shit, offering IVF to make an immaculate conception, or what they call an abomination. But guess what? In the end of days, they said people will be begging and screaming for this shit because the birth rates would be so low. You will be offering yourself to this god Aten in the name of Christ. The reason why is because in the end of days, they said you're gonna call on Christ, not just his name, but his immaculate conception. This is what's on this disc they call the Jeffrey Epstein files. I keep on telling you, y'all not really tapped in like that. But when you get to this knowledge, yeah, you start central casting, family. Central casting, central is the mono. The casting is of the devil. What does Shaitan deal with? Shaitan deals with the broadcasting system. That's the antennas on the TV. Yes, the television. AT&T. What does that spell? Aten. Yes, this is the god of attention. When they say in the military Aten hut, that means you worshiping this god named Aten. All right? Aten hut. Right, left, right, left. That means they flipping your brain. Red, blue, red, blue. See, you worship the devil 4 years, then you worship Christ the next 3 years, and then they ship your ass off to Afghanistan, and then your parents don't see you anymore. Why? Because who is another form of Aten? When we talking about shipping your ass somewhere. The other form of Aten is Uncle Sam, family. Uncle Sam is the sacrificial lamb or the goat god, or who they call the horny goat. But like I said, even when you're dealing with the draft, we can sync these symbols together. So, as you can see, if you look at Uncle Sam's hat, he has a 5-pointed star on his head. And if you pull up this, let's look at this, family. If you look at the Baphomet, let's pull this up because I got to sync this together so y'all can get the downloads before y'all leave tonight. You have the Baphomet with the 5-pointed star or the Go God. As you can see, the Baphomet, he's a androgynous entity. He has breast because guess what? The breast is the silicon. This is the artificial deity, the trickster god. But he comes in the form of Christ as well. See, evil is not gonna pop out and say, "Hey, I'm evil, motherfucker." No, he's always gonna come in the form of Christ, and then they flip your ass right, left, right, left. A 10 hut, but when you do the ritual, yeah, it's already too late. A lot of people were sacrificed under Obama. And guess what? He was the abomination under this God they call Uncle Sam. Family. Yes, the guy in the top hat, or who they call the Monopoly Man, because he controls Boardwalk. He controls the game. He controls the shapes and the symbols. The game is a damn square. He controls triangles, hexagrams, and what they put the hex on you, they put the spell on you. All right? This is the draft, family. You have rich slaves, you have poor slaves, but they still under this religion we call ball and chain. What is the religion tied to the ball and chain? You see, the ball and chain. You see the ball and chain, family? Do you see these hands of God pushing the ball up the damn mountain? Like the story of Sisyphus in Greek mythology. This is also another form of Atlas. Let's pull this up. This is the god Atlas right here. Let's pull this up, family. So when you're looking at this symbol of Otanism, and you looking up the Greek god Atlas, he's pushing this damn ball. He keep on pushing this damn ball up. These are the hands of God pushing the Father, holding this damn ball up. All right. But guess what? The ball to the Zionists, or who we call the scientists. Hold on, let's pull this up. We gotta put this because this is what they do in a lab. And like I said, this God ball, if you spell or bow, if you spell bow backwards, you get lab. What do you think this motherfucker was? A scientist. Aten was a scientist. Who do you think Christ was? He was a healer god. He was a damn Christ was a damn scientist. Or who they call a Zionist. Christ is a Zionist and he's a earth god. And he's supposedly supposed to be coming back establishing his kingdom of Zionism. But they don't tell you Zionism is Zionism. They don't tell you this shit because they don't tell you that Jesus learned his ways from the damn Egyptians. And Moses is the first one to put Jesus on the cross. Moses was the first one to put Jesus on the cross. But guess what? Jesus was came in the form of a serpent. This is why the serpent was on the cross first. And then they said the serpent or the sacrificial lamb was going to get crucified on the cross. They already planned this shit, family. They knew what was going to happen, but they needed a so-called earthly slash God sacrifice, or who they call a human sacrifice. See, they practice this shit in all they really. You see, King Jeffrey, he practiced this shit too. But guess what? He create his kids. Show you where he create his kids. Because if you think about it, This oddnism symbol is a fucking fungi growing out of damn petri dish. This is the oddnism symbol right here. Why is this the oddnism symbol? Because this ball right here is an expanding universe. It's an expanding. This is why they said they talked about the expanding universe. From one comes many. So guess what? Out of this Godhead, you get these different religions, fam. And guess what? You chain to each denomination. And when you chain down, this is the whole story of Christ busting out of hell right here. Because guess what? Some of his followers and believers are anchored to hell. They pulling you down. But Jesus had the keys to unlock this. The thing is, Jesus personifies the pineal gland. He personifies discernment. Now, everybody who call on Christ does not have this skill of discernment. Why don't they have this skill of discernment? Because I done seen people worship Christ and get fooled by a fake Muslim with three fingers. Yes, I did. Yes, I did. We called out Joel Hayes. Joel Hayes had a hell of a following, a hell of a Christian following. And guess what Joel Hayes did? He fooled a lot of Christians. And I told people about it, but they didn't want to believe me. They thought I was the devil. But guess what? I wasn't the devil. It was Joel Hayes that was the devil. Yes. A Muslim Brotherhood tricked about what he got on his page about 10,000 Christians? Tricked about 10,000 Christians, y'all. And I seen it happen in real time. This is why I said the internet go see who's going to hell and who's going to other places. All right, everybody ain't got it. Everybody ain't going to the same place. I'd be damn sure God or Christ ain't about to have no stupid motherfuckers in heaven fucking his earthly kingdom up. Talking about you go, nobody really goes to heaven, as you can see. Because when God call your ass up, he go shoot your ass right back down. Because some say you're not worthy to be up here. It's too bright. This is where God cooks your ass and balances out resurrection and rebirth. This is where you become reborn again. You see the connections? You just being molded into this damn petri dish. You ain't nothing but a fungi. And this is the whole thing about IVF too. See, the kids that's born in IVF, they was raised off shooting needles in their fucking body. A lot of people are doing this right now to get rid of a seven deadly sin like gluttony. You know, some people are doing this right now. All right. Some people are hushed over, brainwashed off trending topics, spreading hate, calling people out their name, desecrated certain individuals, just stirred up a lot of controversy without any real backing. And some people know how to align with statistics. If you don't, if look, let me be honest with you. Bill Gates read this book, and when I posted this on somebody's page, I didn't get no kickback because there's proof that they manufacture certain stories, and next week you'll be in one of these, fam. It's already proven that a lot of people are IVF, product of IVF. And guess what? They don't necessarily have to. administrate the operation. They can do a whole download through what we call ball and chain. You see, these are the needles. These magnetic ley lines are the needles that are being pinned into Christ. Do you see what's going on? Let's pull this up because this is very crucial to what I'm about to unfold. Do you see the magnetic ley lines going into this ball? See, ball is the pineal gland. And as you can see, this dummy right here, he's connected brain computer interface. He's connected to the hive mind, or what we call the cyborg. And guess who's administrating this technology? These people we call the aliens or the aliens, because humans ain't doing this shit. And as you can see, their logo is making a polar vortex towards the center, as you can see with this Atonism symbol as well. Because the rays or the raws, let's pull up this. Let me get this off the screen. Because I got to tie this in. This is the whole Raelian agenda because this is how they picking up people from these aliens. These so-called aliens are coming to rapture you out the Earth simulation. So that this is what they saying, that Isis, Ra, and El are making up this big god they call Israel, and their logo is a swastika with the Star of David around it, and this is their symbol right here. I told you they worship a these people in high places. They worship this polar vortex. This polar vortex is Saturn. This the god of time, but like I said, it's tied to the god Chronos, family. And what is that? That's the original Moses staff right there. That's the Moses caduce right there. Because they know your ass been double crossed, and they know they could trick you with fake astronauts. This is the whole part of the cross of Lorraine. That means your ass been double crossed, you stupid dummy. Just like people believe Snoop Dogg. People believe this fucking degenerate. One day he was for LGBTQ, next day his ugly ass grandson caught the vapors in the movie theater. So I don't know what is going on. A lot of people are getting double crossed, all right? Because they don't know the knowledge of the heavens. See, this is the fake knowledge of the heavens, all right? Behind this symbolism is the way out. But they not teaching you this. This is also a lightning flash right here. If you look up a lightning flash, you look like the Wicker Man. Let's pull up a lightning flash, family. Because the whole part of look up a lightning flash. As you can see, the lightning flash is the Otanism symbol. And the Otanism, you see, let's pull this up. This is your if you strip your body down to your veins, you look just like this. A damn lightning bolt. A big ball of plasma coming down like this, fam. So these pins, these flashes of light are flashes. The flash is the flesh. The flash is the flesh of light, or who they call the Israelite or the Israelite, because they got two different lights. They got the dark light and the real light. The fake, they got the fake light and they got the real. That's the Israelite or the illuminated ones, or who they call the Illuminati. The illuminated ones have the knowledge of the quantum computer. These are the saints that roam around in the simulation. But once the saints are gone, it's over. Once the saints leave the simulation, like they said in Revelations, you can kiss the game, but goodbye. You will be ran off this AI guy called the Silicon Messiah. Okay? The digital divinity, the faith in this code. Aten to algorithm. Who is Al? Al is this god they call L. And this god L is the one that programs the algorithm into the lexicon. And then you become very demonic. Okay? You become very demonic. We see it in urban cities, black fatigue. You see a lot of this in the church. Yes, they said come as you are in church. They said come as you are, but was that a good idea to say that? No. It should have said come when you halfway right. Don't come when you fucked up, because nobody wants to see that early. Come when you damn near made your mind up, because guess what? You go affect the other church. You go see people that come in off the church, they ain't always good. All right, but Christ go test your ass, and then when he tests you, guess what? He go shoot you. He go shoot your whole church up. He be the one who shoot your whole shit up. But guess what? That was the whole trick. Haha, is to be forgiveful, and forgiveful. Yeah, you go forget the knowledge of the serpent. See, the knowledge of the serpent was to give you the discernment of good and evil. The serpent, who? What is the serpent? A serpent is these extensions of air. The root word of air is electricity. These are the serpents. Let's pull up Medusa. Medusa is showing you the same thing coming out the head. Right here. That's the serpent. That's the serpent body, but the serpentine are basically your auric field. That's the knowledge, but they go demonize it as a damn demon because they don't want you to tap in this knowledge. This is the knowledge of the reverse rapture. Matter of fact, I might rebrand this video, call it the reverse rapture theory. So this is what they're hiding. Okay, do you see Medusa right here? Now let's get into what they were talking about with the Dyson spears, because this is all based off the god Aten. Because when we pull this up, Aten, or the god Odin in Norse mythology. But they see the Romans, they basically slaughtered those people and merged their god Odin into the Norse god Christ. See, Norse is north as well. And when you're dealing with Christ, you're dealing with the 33rd degree, the 33rd degree north, because that's the knowledge of the Gnostics. And on a compass, the nose or the needle always points north. So the needle these are what you're looking at, the needles that's going into this doll or this dual body. And I'm trying to find a picture of the Chucky doll. See, Chucky, oh, y'all seen the movie Chucky. Chucky was giving you the same effect too. I don't think I can find it. But even with this picture, Christ holding his arms out with the anchor, that means toward you anchored with the knowledge of the simulation. But the thing is, when you're anchored, that means you going down, you sinking. And when it's time to what they call worship, yeah, the anchor is tied to the warship. And when they pull this motherfucker up, you get the sailing on the waters above. This is how they tied it in with this maritime law religion or the land of the water, because this is how they established their Masonic code into different lands by worship. And we already went over this. The first, one of the first slave ships was the name Jesus Christ. They used it. They used this terminology on them damn waters, family. And whoever was on them waters had the knowledge of Christ. It's how you worship Christ in your land through worship. All right. This is how you carry different relationships. All right. What we call situationships. This is another situationship. When they say, "Oh, we trying to copy Christ and have an immaculate conception without physical conception," family. This is the whole story of Aten. That's what's in this damn pill right here. They offering IVF. They cheating death, man. The average, you gotta think, the average. Let's pull this up. The average living age for a ancient Egyptian. They had to do it. They had to do this. They had to do this shit. How else was you gonna reproduce, fam? Let's pull this up because y'all not understanding how long this religion been on earth. So Atonism is a form of Christianity when you're talking about rebirth and resurrection, because people never lived that long. How else you supposed to? You get what I'm saying? The average living age for an ancient Egyptian was typically between 20 to 40 years, family. Life expectancy at birth ranged from 19 to 25 years, but surviving childhood significantly improved longevity, fam. With adults also living into their 30s or 40s. They was experimenting on these people. They was doing Scientology, experimentals, giving people plagues and shit like that. And guess what? To cheat death, you needed IVF, fam. They never lived over 40 years old. So what do you think they offering? in the form of Christ. Long lasting life. Y'all not, I don't think y'all ready. I think I hit the hour mark. I don't think y'all ready, man. I don't think y'all ready, bro. I really don't. Make sure you support the show. We go into part two tomorrow, but this only part one. We go into part two. I think we pretty much, uh, you know, desecrated the introduction. Yeah, we killed that. So we go continue to part two tomorrow. I don't think y'all ready. We go stop it at an hour. We go stop these at an hour, man. All right. So yeah, I'm about to wrap this up. Make sure you share and like the video. I'm out. Love you. I'm out.